got a few more Bodacious Creed things to share today. Of course, this being a busy semester, I'm working hard on this thesis. Again, if you want to know what Bodacious Creed is, read my main page, read the blog. I'll put a link to it. It's my 3D modeling thesis. So I'll go ahead and show some of the models, how they're coming along, and actually I've got one more thing to show at the end, and hope you enjoy the video. Alright, first of all, I'm at the point of bringing my models into zBrush. Been working hard on these, as you've seen if you've been watching the videos. And so here is Bodacious Creed. Now, one thing I asked my Organic Modeling 2 instructor is, should I go ahead and now, you know, Creed is basically a zombie. He's been brought back to life with steampunk technology. So he's got, you know, flesh missing here and there, and, you know, looks decayed. So I asked, what should I do for things like in his face, where where there's like flesh missing over on this side. You can see a bunch of his muscles and a bunch of machinery coming up in here. Same on his head. My instructor basically said, well, actually what I asked first was, should I create some holes in the mesh and then kind of extrude them inward to create you know, some thickness so it looks like a fleshy area. And he said, no, that's not how we do it. So that's kind of good, actually. It's I think it'll actually give me more flexibility in the end. Here basically what I'm doing is I'm keeping everything symmetrical, and then when I get into the details of the machinery and the missing skin and whatnot, what I'll end up doing is pushing this in something like, let's see, something like this. Not 100% sure this is how I'll do it, but something like this. And bring it in like that. And then there's some other things I'll use to, so that'll give it some density, and then the other sub-tools, as they're called in zBrush, which are going to be other parts, other separate models that make up part of this model. I'm saying it that way. Will come through here for the muscles and the machinery. So obviously I'm not going to keep this like that. What I've done so far this week, and this didn't take too long, so I'm looking and seeing what else I need to do for class. But of course it took a while to get the character ready and get his UV maps done and all that stuff, as I've shown in other videos. But what I've done here, this is still at a really low resolution. The lowest resolution is, not subtools. There we go. Geometry. That's the lowest resolution for the character, which should look familiar if you've been watching the videos. That's you know, pretty much the model as he looked before, but I have made some changes now that he's in zBrush. Right now I have it up at this level, and I'm just blocking in the major bone and muscle masses. So here's, I got the chest going. You see the belly a little bit. You can see the bottom of the ribs coming down. Arm muscles worked in. Tibia coming down in front here and to here. The fibula coming down on the outside, which you don't see much because of the muscles, but you do see the end of the fibula there. The knees, you know. So if you look over the model, I've gone through and done detail with getting in those major muscles and bones. One principle in art that is emphasized quite a lot at the university and helps people to do just really amazing artwork is that you start with the bigger shapes and you move down to smaller. This goes for drawing, this goes for modeling. So when you're modeling, you know, you start with creating a basic model like this, and you know, it actually starts off even simpler than this. I'll extrude down the legs, and they'll just basically be a big block at the beginning, and you know, kind of slowly work and give them shape. And every time you add detail, you make sure it's in the right place. And same goes for sculpture, which 3D modeling is and is very closely related to sculpture, only in the digital realm. So you start off with big shapes and you start carving out from there. With modeling, you may carve out or carve, pull out, carve in, whatever. So, but it's that principle of starting bigger and going smaller and smaller and smaller to the details, and that way you have everything in place. So that's why right now, just doing the major muscles. I'm going to go ahead and save the changes I've made to Creed here, and load up Anna. Let's see, and she is right here. So I have not gotten as far with her as I have with Creed. I've done most of the bony masses on her. So you can see, the ankles, there, the knees, back of the knees, elbows, jawline, ribs, and so on, clavicle. Her being a woman, these things are softer looking in her. So, but they're there, and I will get to her muscles next. So, yeah, that will be my next part of this. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed seeing the progress I've made here, and you'll get to see these models get more and more detailed as I continue to work on them. The next thing I'm going to show is the print I got for my thesis that I've been showing off here and telling people, if you like this picture, you can buy a print of it. So I also wanted to show you guys I got my Bodacious Creed print, and it is now hanging in front of the doorway. And I built the frame myself, so that saved me a little bit of money. The print itself was it's only $20 on DeviantArt, and I'll put a link to that if anybody else wants to get one of these. Yeah, that's it.